Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll introduce myself. My name is Mersinda with NIM 22 12 90 60. I'm from 22 International Class 14. So I'm here. I will explain material about animal breeding. There are different types of animal that exist in this world. One of the features of living beings is breeding. The purpose of breeding animals is to preserve the brains so that it does not become extinct. Similar to plant breeding, animal breeding is also divided into two, namely generative and vegetative breeding. The first topic is generative breeding of animals. Generative breeding of animals is the mating breeding of animals beginning with fertilizations. The mating method is carried out by animals by molting male sex cell or spermatozoids and female sex cells or eggs. The result of this fertilization is called a zygote. The zygote grows into an embryo fetus. It is this embryo that later becomes a new individual. Besides, on the way of breeding, mating, or generatively, this animal is divided into three types: is oviparous animals, viviparous animals, and ovoviviparous animals. Okay, ovoviviparous animals. Ovoviviparous are animals that brains by laying eggs. After fertilization, an animal embryo is formed that grows and develops in the cell of the egg. After the egg is removed by the mother, this embryo will become a new individual when the hatching process occurs by the mother. This prospective child gets nutrients and food reservoirs that come from the egg, namely the yolks. The yolk is used as a food reserve for the development of embryos. If the embryos has fully grown, the eggs will hatch and new individuals will come out. Fertilization in itself can occur inside the body internal, or it can also be outside the body or external. Okay, these oviparous can be divided into two types besides on the process of fertilization, namely, the first is oviparous or egg-laying animal whose fertilization process occurs in the body of the female bird. An example is the type of poultry. The second is oviparous or egg-laying animals whose fertilization process occurs outside the body of the female bird. Example are types of amphibians and fish. What characters of oviparous animals? Okay, the first character is it has no auricles. Second, it has no mammary glands or it's not a mammal. The point is that prospective individuals of oviparous animal must survive with the nutrients in the eggs. 3 is generally poultry and reptile nations. 4. It has a hairy but hairless body cover. The functions of flora in oviparous animal is to maintain the warmth of the body so that they can survive. 5 is warm blood. Warm-blooded animals are animals that regulate their body temperatures by sweating. Okay, this example of oviparous animals. The first is chicken. Chicken are poultry animals that we often encounter in the environment around us. There are various types of chickens that are usually raised by humans to be used in everyday life. One example, a brand of chicken that is often loved by many people is native chickens. This type of chicken is usually used the turns of meat or eggs for consequence or cultivations. The process of fertilization in chicken takes um, th- takes place takes take the number of eggs produced by type. Chicken is also differently divided on the age of the chickens. The older the chickens usually reproduce more eggs if the eggs have already been removed. It usually takes about 21 days for the chickens to incubate them, to hatch and produce new new of offspring. The purpose of the hen is to incubate the eggs so that the chicken eggs feel warm so that the prophetic chicks and the eggs are not disturbed and can develop properly. If the temperature cold, chicken eggs causing prospect breeding chickens to be disturbed. Chicken eggs will rot and die. The second example is dog. Female and male pigeons will jointly hold they match in three or in unit buildings holes in one fertilization cycles. The presents 2 until 4 eggs. As for the herding, they take about 16 until 18 days until the eggs hatch. It is necessary to know that the process of hardening eggs in these pigeons is carried out jointly. This is with male and female pigeons. Okay, the next generative female is viviparous animal. Viviparous are animals that breed by lambing or giving birth. Animals that breed by children are mammalian or lactating animals. The process of pregnancy in viviparous animals begins with the fertilization of male cells against the eggs of females in the body of the mother. After fertilization, a growing animal embryo is formed and developed and the womb by utilizing nutrients from the mother. These nutrients obtained directly from the mother are channeled through the placenta. The future baby will experience growth in the womb until it is perfect. After that, finally, the womb's giving birth and forms a new individual. Characteristic of a first animal. The first is have ovaries. The next is have nipples or mammary glands. Three is mammal animal breath. The four is the body is covered with feather. And last is the feet grow in the womb. Okay, this is example characteristic of viviparous animals. The first is camels. Camels are split herd animal species of the genus Camels that living in arid regions, deserts, and oceans. Contains in general counts have life expectancy of between 30 until 50 years. Camels are often touted by the general public as animals that live in the desert. Camels have a gestation period of 3 until 15 months. Camels are able to live in desert areas that have a temperature that can kill other creatures. In addition, camels also have the ability not to eat and drink for some time. That's because camels have homes that are used to store water. The next example is cats. The gestation period of a cat on average is 63 until 65 days or about 2 months. On one female cat can give birth as much as 3 times years, with life expectancy reaching 10 until 20 years. Okay, let's say a cat is 10 years old. So it can more or less give birth as much as 30 times with an average baby cat of 2 until 5 hands. Okay, the next generative female is ovoviviparous animals. Ovoviviparous are animals that breed by laying eggs and lambing after the fertilization process occurs. An animal embryo is formed that develops in the egg. To obtain nutrients, embryos of ovoviviparous animals do not jet them directly from the mother's body, but rather from the nutrients available in the egg. After the growth is perfect, the egg hatches. After the egg hatches, then the baby animals comes out for the mother body. Okay, characteristics of oviparous animals. The first is fertilization occurs inside the mother's body. Second is after fertilization occurs, egg are formed. Three is the zygote grows into embryo that is in the egg. And four or last is food resources come from within the egg and not from the mother. Okay, this is example of an ovoviviparous animals. The first is stingrays. Stingrays are a type of marine fish that breed in an ovoviviparous. Why? At first, the male and female string will carry out fertilization. Later, they will produce eggs, where the eggs are not immediately removed and left to hatch. Just like that, however, the eggs will be stored in the body of the stinger until the embryo grows and develops in the womb to the optimal point. After reaching that point, only then are they removed from the belly of the female. What is unique about the stingrays um, is that at the visualization stage, would that only take a very short time, with 90 seconds to visualize. As for the gestation period, they take 9 until 12 months, wherein one pregnancy will process 5 until 6 children. The second example is seahorse. Seahorse. When compared to other animals, sorsons are very unique animal and are different from other animals. If in general the one food contains is the female, then in the source the content is the male. This incident is very rarely found in the other animals, so it is a characteristic of sorsons breeding. Why are male seahorse pregnant? This is because the male seahorse has aspects like a kangaroo in this body, in each body that is used to store and include the eggs that are ready to be fertilization. Branch letter fertilization will occur when the female has matured her donut and is ready to be carried into the male sac. The number of eggs produced in one grown-up is about 50 until 200 eggs depending on the size and the age of the seahorse, and for the time of containing it is 10 until 14 days only. Okay, the next topic is vegetative breeding of animals. Vegetative breeding of animals is the breeding of animals is in an unbreeding manner. Generally, vegetatively breeding animals are low-level animals that do not have a perfect body structure compared to high-level animals that have perfect body structure. The following are the types of animal breeding in a vegetative way, along with example. The first is splitting yourself. The second is protein. The three is fragmentations. Okay, the first is splitting yourself. Splitting is one of the ways of breeding animals without going through the mating process. An animal that breeds by dividing itself. Its body parts will split into two and into two different individuals. Division first occurs in the cell nucleus, then other parts of the body divide alone. These divisions produce two twin cells, each cell resulting from the divisions becomes a new individual that can grow and multiply. Animals that brain by self-divisions are unicellular animals. This animal is very small and can only be seen with a microscope. The example splitting yourself is protozoa and amoeba. Okay, the next vegetative animal is sprouting. Budding is a way of breeding animals without going through mating process. Animals that breed by budding have small shoots grow on the body parts of low-bred animals that have already grown. The shoots will then begin to look for its own food, and over time it will detach from the mother and become a new individual. Example of animals that breeding by budding are sea anemones and hydra. Okay, the last vegetative animals is fragmentations. Fragmentations is the proliferations by means of separations of part of the body. Such separate part of the body will produce new individuals. Example of animals that breed by means of separations of body parts are starfish and planarian worms. If the star is split into two parts, then each part of its body can grow into a new individual. Planarian worms have a planted body. If the body is cut off, a new individual will appear from the part of the body that was cut off early. Okay, guys, that's our material. Thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.